Welcome to the Main Slate Mashup, hosted by season-long DFS. We're back. It's Jamie and it's Rich. That way. That's the way. How you doing, Rich?
I'm good. Yeah, the sequel that no one asked for, but we're forcing on everyone.
Our wives and partners ask us to do this to get us out of the living room so they can watch TV?
Give them a bit of peace and quiet. Yeah,
Exactly.
that feels about right, actually.
How excited are you, mate?
I'm pretty pumped for this new season. Actually, like it should be good. Got fans back in stadiums, which would be nice. We had we've got some interesting QB situations throughout the league. Yeah, it should be good. Like I'm kind of looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm just waiting for it to come around now. So
Long, mate.
let's
Not
go.
long. We've couple of days, mate. Couple of days. This week and this year, we are going to mainly focus the Main Slate Mashup on GPPs, the Millie Maker tournaments like that on DraftKings. We will also be doing a cash game challenge show separate to the Main Slate Mashup. So keep an eye out for that. The first week is myself and Rich are going to challenge each other to a cash game lineup, and let's see if you can get off to a good start this year, mate.
I hope so. I was kind of chasing my tail last season at times, but yeah, hopefully we get off to a good start, and I don't have to just keep taking shots.
And by taking shots, you are talking about season-long DFS competition. You need a solid start. I've kind of worked out after 2 years of doing it, you kind of just play safe first week, just get a safe score, because the last thing you want to do is be like 70 points behind or 100 points behind after week one.
Well, yeah, there is that. I quite like just chasing it though, to be honest, in one regard. So I probably will just continue with the same awful strategy.
Old habits, mate. Old habits.
Exactly.
If anyone is watched last year's Main Slate Mashup, we've lost Liam. Liam has found far more important things to do than spend an evening with myself and Rich. And do you know what? I don't blame him. Let's be honest. We can bore the living daylights out of anyone. And we're going to slightly change it. So we're going to go, instead of listing the quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, DSTs in certain price brackets that we liked, we are literally going to go straight into our teams our GPP kind of lineups, and kind of go from there. And then after that, we'll have a couple of players. Obviously, well, I've got more than a couple that just missed out on my lineup, and we'll kind of just mention those and to give different options as well, so you can mix and match. Rich, would you like to start me off with the quarterback for your lineup?
I went big. So I straight Patrick Mahomes.
He's not messing about. This boy is not messing about. So you've gone with Patrick Mahomes. What's his price and who's he playing again? He's playing the Chiefs, but what's his price? I haven't got it in front of me.
8,100. Big spender. Big spender.
I'm assuming you like his chances this week against the Browns. Browns defense pretty good.
Browns defense is pretty good. So are the Chiefs at home.
Yeah.
In the start of the season or on a bye week. So the Chiefs completely rebuilt their offensive line as well during the off season. So I'm all in. Let's go.
Are you also kind of thinking that he's going to be slightly pissed from his last game he played? Might come out.
I think this team is going to want to come out and make a statement.
Yeah.
The Browns are going to be playoff contenders, and I think they're going to want to come out and say, "Yeah, watch this."
Yeah, get back in your box.
Yeah.
Okay, I was about to say that was a solid start, but that's more than solid. It's Patrick bloody Mahomes. I haven't splashed as you have for my quarterback. I've gone with, you might say, a slight homer pick. I've gone with Matt Ryan, 6,000, playing at home against the Philadelphia Eagles and that Swiss cheese of a defense. Well, defensive backs. The D-line should be pretty good. New regime, new coach, no Julio, new supposed super tight end / wide receiver / just Mr. Amazing in Kyle Pitts. I think both defenses are pretty poor. Well, they were definitely last year, and I haven't seen a huge amount of improvement this year in the offseason in who they brought in and so what. So I think this has got the chance to be pretty high scoring. Falcons at home, they throw the time. Arthur Smith doesn't concern me that he's going to want to run it all the time anyway. So yeah, 6,000. I think you get a pretty solid floor with Ryan. You don't need to really be concerned about it. You're running back one.
I mean, we could just say the whole of the Saints offense. Alvin Kamara. I mean, at this point, he's probably
Packers.
He is playing my Packers, but I mean, I don't know. There's nothing else on this team. So,
but Marquez Callaway.
Yeah, I mean, we've also got like a pretty decent cornerback in Alexander. So I think Alexander should be able to shut down Callaway. I would have thought. I think this entire offense is going to go through Kamara, and that means handoffs and dump offs and all of that. So I think Jameis Winston's going to have to really dial it back for the first couple of weeks at least.
He doesn't want to lose his job, does he?
Not to Taysom Hill.
What's Kamara's price? Is it like 81 or something?
8,600. So I'm just yeah.
There is no salary cap on Richard. There is none. It's
salary
unlimited.
Cap doesn't exist.
So you've gone with Alvin Kamara. I've one up to you slightly here on price. I've decided to go for it. I looked at CMC, thought, coming off an injury, it's Dalvin Cook for me. 9,100 at Cincinnati. It's Dalvin Cook. What more do you need to say? It's the Cincinnati defense isn't great. I think that the Vikings will get out to a lead and they will just pound the ball. You might see a bit of Madison here and there, but Dalvin Cook is just, he's going to be in a lot of my lineups this week, even at the price 9,100. Who is your running back two?
Because it's GPP, this guy's ownership, I think he could have a decent game, but his ownership will be low.
Excuses already. Come on, who's it?
Joe Mixon.
Okay.
6,200. Like this is because we're playing GPP. I think he has an ability in the part. We saw that the Bengals said, "Should we get a star wide receiver or shall we get someone to protect Joe Burrow?" And they went, "Nah, don't need to protect him." So I think he's going to be under some pressure from the Vikings front, and that'll mean dump offs. And Joe Mixon actually isn't. He's not bad. He just suffered injury last season, so everyone will be down on him. So I'm thinking opening week, the ownership will be low. He'll pop week one.
I do like the thinking there, mate. I like the thinking, and also was it back end of last year? They just rode Mixon for the last couple of games massively.
Last season they rode him in a couple of games, but they just benched him. Like this is why fantasy owners were like really upset because he wasn't out on the field, but they had no need to because they weren't making the playoffs. They were going to be, a sucky team. They're playing for draft position essentially. So,
just think about Mixon. That I heard a stat. I can't think when it was. Must have been a month ago or something about him, and it was. Didn't something come out saying that Mixon would share like third duty? There was something coming from the coach going, Mixon will get a certain percentage of the geo touches, let's say, third down touches, and people were moaning and complaining about, he's losing touches. He wasn't used that much from third down last year, so he's technically what the coach was saying is we're going to give him more touches. So I like the Mixon pick, mate. I like it. My running back 2 is on a team which is, I think, is just going to run. I'm going with the 49ers lead back at the moment, Raheem the Dream Mostert, 5,800 at Detroit. I think we saw, was it the last preseason game that he played in, looked really, really good. Very nimble on his feet. And the thing we have to concern about with Mostert is injuries. This is week 1. He's not currently injured. You play him. I think last year in week 1, he had the most amount of yards or was it fantasy points? Something like that in week 1 for running backs. So I expect the 49ers to, as we all know, they love to run the ball. Yes, they've got Trey Sermon. I'm not concerned about him. Raheem Mostert at 5,800, I think could be a little bit of a bargain. Your wide receiver 1, please, Rich.
This guy has been my guy in dynasty leagues, and he is now my guy in week 1. Michael Pittman. I mean, I spent up at quarterback, and spoiler alert, I've spent up at tight end, so I had to make some concessions.
You going for George Kittle?
So I have to make some concessions. So Pittman is my wide receiver 1 going against Seattle. There's not a lot of receiving options on this Colts offense. I mean, well, there is not very established. Anyway, I know you got Paris Campbell and things who everyone seems like.
Zach Pascal.
Yeah, exactly. He's doing my point for me. Wentz looks like he's going to be playing week 1. Wentz likes big body receivers. Pittman is a big body. End of sentence.
What's his price? Low 4s.
4,100.
It's nice, especially with TY out as well.
Yeah.
My wide receiver 1 is Devontae Smith for the Philadelphia Eagles. So I'm having a little bit of the Falcons and the Eagles game. He's 4,500 going up against the Falcons. Just give me the other wide receivers on the team, Rich. For the Eagles.
Jalen Reagor.
Yeah.
Zach Ertz.
You've got Greg Ward. There's another wide receiver.
Yeah.
I think Smith is going to come out all guns firing. I think he's probably going to lead in targets for the wide receiver for the season, and I also believe for this game. Falcons defense isn't very good. Jalen Hurts is mobile enough to find just whether or not he can throw an accurate pass to get to Smith. But I think at 4,500, there's a real kind of boom play with Devontae Smith for me this week. I quite like him. Wide receiver 2, Rich.
Rondale Moore. 3,000.
Love it.
Just it's minimum, and as I said, like I spent up at these other positions, so I had to make concessions. I think his ownership will be low. PPR. I mean, for him to hit value, I need 9 points, something like that. So I think that's very doable in this game. Tennessee are not a good defense, especially against wide receivers, and he's going to be getting probably working in the slot, or certainly he's not going to be facing primary coverage when you've got the likes of Hopkins, and AJ Green will be used as well, I think. So yeah, I'm happy with that.
We'll keep this quite simple, shall we? My wide receiver 2 is Rondale Moore, 3,000. For everything that you said, I agree. I also think they will find ways to get the ball in his hands. He's a playmaker. He will be used. I even think he'll be used in the running game. And at 3,000, and with his kind of playmaking ability, I think he could literally catch a 5-yard pass and go 70 yards for a touchdown. And kind of in the GPP line, you really want a real kind of boomy play. And Rondale Moore is that this week, I think. Your wide receiver 3.
It's another rookie. Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Like it.
I mean, this one is more just it's almost like a necessity. I had to save money, and he's minimum as well. So we were talking just before we recorded about the Detroit offense, and there's not a lot of pass catches that are out there. So for the team, other than Hawkinson, so I think
I like Tyrell Williams. I think he's a little bit undervalued.
Yeah, but
he's not great. He's not great. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I think Amon-Ra St. Brown will be used in the middle of the field. So again, I need 9 points for him to hit value, and I think
that's easily doable.
It's doable just with the volume that I think he'll get. Rondale Moore, I'm hoping that he'll make a few splash plays, whereas Amon-Ra St. Brown, I'm just expecting it will just be like just a pure volume play.
He's a pretty. Am I wrong? Am I right in thinking he's a fairly big-bodied receiver?
I mean, I don't know his physicals, but I think he's like a big slot kind of play.
So potentially also a red zone target if he's.
Yeah, if Detroit
get near him.
If Detroit get to the red zone, yeah.
I think they might get near it. My wide receiver 3 is Laviska Shenault, 5,000 going up against the Texans, Jags. At Texas, is it Reliant Stadium?
It used to be NRG, didn't it?
I think it might still be NRG, actually. I'm Reliant, God knows why I thought that. Yeah, Texans. I'm going to be finding players to play against them every single week. The defense is atrocious. I think I saw someone tweeted earlier today. The Texans defense was allowing something nearly like 68-70% completion percentage for quarterbacks. Yes, it's Trevor Lawrence's first NFL game. He looked okay, pretty good in against the Cowboys backups. Was it the Cowboys backups in preseason? I think it was Cowboys. You've got DJ Chark and Marvin Jones currently both on the let's do an injury report. So I think nearer the time we'll know kind of more about it. I expect both of them to suit up, but I think Shenault is kind of be used as a pass catcher, but also similar to what I was saying about Rondale Moore. I think he'll potentially be used in jet sweeps, just get the ball in his hands. And at 5,000, I think he will be pretty solid for me this week. I really quite like him. Your tight end, Rich. Shock us.
Stack with my quarterback, Mr. Travis Kelce.
What's he priced at? He's like 8.2 or something?
8,300. Yeah, when I stack them high.
You don't mess around, do you?
No. So I think this offense is going to most likely go through Tyreek Hill as a result of me having Kelce. But I've constructed this as a GBP loan because I've got some guys that I think could bang, and Travis Kelce I think could bang, and I think his ownership will be low because of the price tag. I mean, I don't think there's going to be very many owners who have Mahomes, Kamara, and Kelce in their team.
Just going to stop you there. I'm so cropping that Kelce could bang. I'm going to crop that and put that into some kind of video or sound clip. I'm so going to use that. I might even do it for the kind of little start to the video. But carry on.
That's my reason. That's why I've got him.
Yeah, Mahomes Kelce stack. Sensible. It was either Mahomes Kelce or Mahomes Hill, wasn't it? So yeah, love it. Like you, with you stacking your tight end and quarterback, I'm stacking my tight end and quarterback. I'm going with Kyle Pitts. 4,400 at the Eagles versus 4,400. It kind of price wise, yes, Kelce. I did look at Kelce. Nearly double the price of Pitts. Pitts is supposedly a worldly tight end, the best tight end to come out of college. Blah, 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 blah. I'll be honest, I wasn't incredibly high and happy with us taking him where we took him in the draft. But there's no Julio Jones. Calvin Ridley is the bona fide wide receiver one. That boy is a stud, and I looked at potentially putting Ridley in and stacking with Ryan instead. But at the price of 4,400, I think that I don't think the Eagles' defense. I think they're going to struggle against him. I really do. He will be used in screens, as a big red zone target. I think I think Ryan's going to pepper him this week. I think we've hardly saw anything out of him out of the preseason. I think we saw one play that was good. We caught it and ran 15 yards with two guys on his back, whatever it will be. You haven't heard a lot about Pitts. They've kind of kept him. I don't want to say hidden, but do you know what I mean? They're kind of like.
I think they've tried to downplay what his role will actually be.
Yeah. I think along kind of, as you said, you put players in that will give you a real boom. And I think Pitts is one of those this week for me as well, along with Rondale Moore. I think I don't know if the Falcons are going to win the game, but I just think they're going to be points scored. Who is your flex, Richard?
Trey Sermon. So I've gone for the other running back in that game.
He could be the running back one for the 49ers. No one bloody knows.
I mean, the thing is, ultimately, I'm not sure who is actually going to be seeing more of the work, Raheem Mostert or Trey Sermon. So in that scenario, I'm going to go for the cheaper option and hope that it's them. So he's 4,500, and against this Detroit lineup, as Jamie said earlier, I think anyone could run past them. So.
Like it, mate. My flex is Tyreek Hill, 8,200. Going up against the Browns again. I think what the kind of the amount of targets and workload that Tyreek will see is fairly. It's not really massively up and down, is it? It's pretty solid. And again, it's another player that yes, I'm paying up for him, but. Who was it against at the start of last year? Was it against the Buccaneers? We went off for like 3 touchdowns or something and 200 yards in like the first quarter.
Yeah, it was filth.
If you could do that again, Tyreek, that would be brilliant. But yeah, it's another big. I think he's got a solid floor and he could just really go to the moon. Let's put it that way. And now on the boring part of it, the defense. Rich, who are you going with?
I'm going to 49ers.
Oh, I looked at them.
Paid up because I was like, the difference isn't all that much. And just against Detroit, I don't think they'll be scoring too many points. And I think Jared Goff might look a bit uncomfortable out there. And the 49ers are going to be heaving pressure on him.
Yeah.
And we've seen, even when he had a good offensive line and, really good offensive.
He can make mistakes.
He can make mistakes. So.
And what's that price again?
4,200. So they are pricey. They are pricey, but again, this is.
You don't often pay up for a defense.
I don't normally. The reason I'm doing it is because I don't think that many people will be paying up for a defense. I mean, I could be wrong. They could be a popular defense because of the Jared Goff situation.
Yeah.
But I think. I mean, we can talk about ones that just missed out. But I think, Jaguars could be a popular option.
Could be.
Just because it's Houston.
Yeah.
But there you go.
I looked at the 49ers for my defense and I sat there and I thought to myself, I went, right, name a QB who loves a fumble. Daniel Jones. Okay, name a running back who isn't going to be 100% healthy, who's coming off an injury. Saquon Barkley. Name a number one wide receiver who has got reoccurring hamstring injuries and hasn't done a huge amount this offseason. Oh, Kenny Golladay. And name a tight end who does like to drop the ball, but is also injured and probably isn't playing. Oh, Evan Ingram. So it all kind of linked into the Denver Broncos. 3,300 going up against the Giants. This defense should be really, really good this year. So yeah, and mine, I had 700 to spare, so I had 49,300. So I left a little bit on the table, not a lot.
I mean, I've got nothing left.
I didn't think you would. I didn't think you would. So yeah, they're both our teams. I'll put I will put a insert graphic of our teams after this. Rich, players that missed out for you, missed kind of just on the fringe. Who did you like?
So I thought about spending down at QB and go Mac Jones, 4,400. As a result, you don't need him to have all that big a game. If he wasn't going up against Miami, then I probably would have done it. The issue is because he is a rookie, and we are talking about a defense that almost dragged the Dolphins to the playoffs last season.
That defense is really good.
I don't feel good about that situation. So I ultimately decided to avoid it. In terms of running backs, again, Damian Harris, I thought about 5,200.
It's a really tempting price, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm worried about, now they've said Mac Jones. I think there's going to be maybe a bit of a teething issue because, yeah, he might have not looked bad in preseason, but preseason is very different to regular season games. So that's where I was with that. I'm going to run through.
Yeah, you run through them, and I'll run through a couple of one after you.
So Russell Gage was a guy that I was kind of thinking about, but I think he's more of a cash game player for me. I think he's going to have quite a high ownership because the price 5,300.
Yeah.
And my tight end, I've got three.
Oh, right.
So I was thinking between Zach Ertz, Gerald Everett, who I've been all over in redraft, and Dan Arnold at 2,600.
Yes. Dan Arnold, I think, is sneaky because he is not a blocker.
He's not a tight end. He's just a receiver who happens to sometimes stand at tight end. So yeah, he was in consideration for me just because I think that the Carolina offense will be decent, but ultimately I decided to go Travis Kelce, didn't I?
Yeah. Defense, you mentioned the Jags.
Jags was the only one that would be in play for me, just because they're going up against Houston. Like, I don't actually think you have to be that competent to stop them. Like, the roster is just devoid of just
talent.
everything, just devoid. Like, just if they could phone in the season, I think they would, and they probably should.
Yeah, well, they are. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
A couple of players that missed out for me, quarterback wise. On the other side of the Falcons game, Hurts at 6,400, mainly for his rushing ability. And we all know the Falcons defense hasn't been great the last couple of years. I'm hoping, obviously, it improves this year, but who knows? I thought that was not bad at 64. Another one would have been Kyler Murray at 76, going up against Tennessee. I think that game has a fair amount of points in it. So that was one. It was two, actually. Running backs were Damian Harris, 5,200, just like you. Just missed out. Najee, 6,300 for Pittsburgh. I think they are gonna use him a lot. Wide receivers, Deontay Johnson, because what we all know, always Deontay. He's Big Ben's favourite target. And I don't think he dropped a ball in preseason or the last game. One of the two, either one. That's really good for him. We're not dropping a ball. Cole Beasley, 4,400. Again, shootout against the Steelers for the Bills. I think he's going to see a fairly solid amount of targets. 4,400 is fairly safe. Tight ends, you had three. I have three. Everett, 3,400. Love him. Absolutely love him. Pat Fryermuth, 2,500. That price, beautiful. If I didn't go with Pitts and Ryan in my stack for GPP, I would have put Fryermuth in. I think he's unfortunately edged Eric Ebron out as the potential tie-in one there. I think in 11 personnel, they're going to be something about Fryermuth playing it. So if they play 12, then he's obviously going to play with Ebron. And Johnny Smith, 4,100. Rookie quarterbacks like safe-handed, big, strong, fast, physical tight ends, and he's one of them, Johnny Smith. Defense for me was the Minnesota Vikings. That defense is going to be really good this year. You've got Burrow coming off an injury. And their the Bengals' offensive line is offensive. It's horrendous.
It's optional.
Yeah, it's optional. Sometimes they play, sometimes they don't. So, Rich, can you just give us a quick rundown of your team?
So my lineup was Patrick Mahomes at quarterback, Alvin Kamara and Joe Mixon at running back position, Rondale Moore, Pittman and Amon-Ra St. Brown at wide receiver, Travis Kelce at tight end. Flex was Trey Sermon, and the 49ers were my DST.
I like that. My team is quarterback Matt Ryan, running backs are Dalvin Cook and Raheem the Dream Mostert. Wide receivers Devonta Smith, Laviska Shenault, and Ron Moore. Kyle Pitts at tight end, Tyreek Hill as my flex, and my DST is the Denver Broncos. I'm interested. I'm going to be really interested to see how these play out this week. But I'm always interested, let's be brutally honest. But I week one, you always said you're always excited by week one. What do you think about the actual slate itself?
I think there's some interesting options. I mean, the reason why I'm always excited for week one is when you see like a monumental starter like pop their ACL or something, and then
Aaron Rodgers.
Spoiler alert, for obviously I don't want injuries, I don't root for them, but it makes things more interesting when they put the prices so far out in advance. So it means you get the likes of backup options being viable and stone min, which makes it more interesting. I think particularly in GPPs you see a larger variation of lineups in week one than any other week as well. So
it's so exciting. We're nearly there, mate. We're nearly there. While we're talking, obviously, DFS, this is why everyone's here. I've got to mention the season-long DFS competition. Head over to www.seasonlongdfs.com, fill out the form, the sign-up form, get involved. 20% of the entry cost is going to charity. We're going to donate to Mine. We did that last year, so we're going to continue to do it this year. It's a really great charity. We're basically nearly up to the same amount of people we had last year in the competition. Obviously, we'd like to get more. We raise more money for charity. Come get involved. 18 weeks of DFS into one competition. So if you like season-long fantasy and you like DFS, play the season-long DFS competition, because that's what it is. Great community, good fun. And I'm saying Rich is going to win it this year.
I will not be winning it this year.
I think you'll do. I think you're going to surprise yourself this year, mate. You've got to believe in yourself. I believe in you.
I just always think I just enjoy it. So
that's the main thing. As long as everyone has fun.
That's it. That's the key.
Has fun, meets new people, talks, gets different strategies about how they're playing. It's just really good fun. So yeah, so come get involved. www.seasonlongdfs.com or on Twitter @seasonlongdfs. Rich, where can we find you on the Twitter sphere, on the internet, on TikTok, as the kids call it?
I don't have TikTok yet. Maybe I should get it, but
where we
find me at kingfantasysports.com, Twitter at kfantasy_sports, and
what's your website?
kingfantasysports.com. So yeah, if you ever want to chat ball, then hit me up. Always happy to help.
You can find me obviously at seasonaldfs.com or my personal handle, which is at J_Byrom_ BYROM_. It's weird. It's annoying. I know. I might change it at some point, but I can't be bothered. Yeah, come chat ball with us. Come chat DFS. The cash game lineup show will be out after the Main Slate mashup. So by the time you probably finish watching this, the cash game one will be out. So take a look at that and find us on YouTube. Just search season long DFS and we will come up. Subscribe and any comments, subscription, always appreciated. Rich, thank you very much for joining me this week. Again, this is like 3 years run, third year. We didn't start last year, did we?
We did start last year.
It was like week 3 or something, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're nearly a calendar year in. I'm hoping it's better than the first one.
Do we have to dress up for that anniversary episode? Like wear tuxedos or something? I don't know.
I'm sure there's some filter on Zoom where we can put something on. I don't know. God knows. Also, send any questions in for the main the rest of the season. So next week, if you want any questions answered, then just drop us a message or a message on Twitter, or just tweet us any questions about the Main Slate, and myself and Rich will happily give you our thoughts on it. But yeah, no, thanks for joining me, mate. I've enjoyed every second of it, as I always do.
I've enjoyed it too. It's been good to chat.
That's what you just did there was like when a guy says to a girl, "I love you," and she goes,
I love spending time with you.
I love spending time with you. And on that note, peace out.